bigger nervous gaggles. A bigger nervous gaggle's got one brain. There's only one brain in that pilot, in that group, making all the decisions. His decisions is probably much worse than your average decisions. Alright, so if you find that gaggle, what I found is if you find that gaggle, you can actually easily fly through, because what happens? They stop for a climb, everybody stops. When they get to the top of the thermal, nobody really wants to leave. No, they wait for that brain to leave. If the brain doesn't leave, everybody stays. So if you get to that gaggle and fly out, and you just fly through it, and you find another climb, next moment you see the gaggle is low and behind it. So you can fly through the nervous gaggle. The potent gaggle is those 4 guys working together. 3 guys, maybe it's the French team and 1 or 2 guys with them. The 3 or 4 gaggle is extremely fast. They can climb in small circles. A big gaggle climb in a wide gaggle. The nervous gaggle climb in a big circle. They don't climb fast and in everybody's way. Complete chaos. You don't want to get stuck in that. We always try to avoid the nervous gaggles, the one brainers. But those 4 brainers, you have to fly with them. To stick with them, you have to focus, you can't make a mistake, and you have to fly out. And you learn a lot. You learn a lot doing that. Alright. So, in my opinion is, the European teams that is the most successful will be the French team, the British team, and the Polish team. Those are the top teams in the world. You can look through the history, those are the top teams. What do well? They understand team flying extremely well. And what does that help you? So they can create potent gaggles within themselves. So they could be a 2-man French team, or a 2-man British team, or a 2-man Polish team. Could be a potent gaggle that you will not be able to beat with a big gaggle. Alright. And therefore some of the other pilots try to leech onto these potent guys, and they actually slow them down. They can actually be in the way of these guys, and the potent guys will sometimes break loose and in their way, and then these guys sit with their one brainer again. And then they are slow. So just take care that the big gaggle is not fast. It's not a fast thing, it's a slowish thing, and that's how it is. Okay, now from my opinion, flying in worlds is that a big gaggle is slow, and you will be able to stay with it, but you're going to end up in the bottom half of the score. A fast gaggle is fast, but they're only making 80% of the decisions are correct. They are not 100% correct. Even if they are fast, my opinion is really that they do good things, and then the next moment you think, why the hell are they doing that? If you question yourself why they're doing that, there is a chance that they're making a mistake. So what we are doing, if me and Ati tries to be a gaggle flying hard together, and we try sometimes to ignore what the gaggle is doing. We try to start after them, catch and fly through them, and sometimes we start extremely early. So what you were saying is, if you're alone, you cannot go ahead. But if you're 2-man, preferably 3 guys. If you are 3 guys, do the best. You will be faster than any gaggle. If you can meet up with your guys and another good guy, and you have fast gaggle that can start fast, you can start early. If the weather develops and it's good, you can go. They will not catch you. They will not catch you, I promise you. But if you start too early, they will catch you. So this is my opinion. But while you're not in this gaggle, and you see this potent gaggle, and you see now they make the obvious mistake, then it's the time to do your own thing. It is really the time to do it. Don't be afraid to do it. But that's only 20% of the time. So every time you make a decision, I want to do that, you think that. Obviously you have to get used to the pattern and what they are thinking and what they're doing. But fly with those guys, and when you find that opportunity where they make a mistake, then you do that. I've flown many gaggles with Sebastian Coe. He doesn't make many mistakes, but he does. And if he makes that mistake and you do something different, you beat him. I've been in various day wins against Sebastian, and I could see now he's making a mistake. And then I trust myself to do the right thing. But if I lose a bit of self-confidence, then I don't trust my own views. So I see some information, I think, why is he doing that? I would have done that, but I'm rather going to fly with him. Then you will never beat this guy. You will always be behind. So it's about if you have to fly with a lot of confidence, you can actually believe your own decisions. So these are my views.
What you just described, I would characterize as 80% strategic, 70% strategic, with an overlay of 30% tactical. So you've got to be good at tactical stuff, but you're not being driven entirely by the tactical stuff. You're continuing to think, looking for opportunities to be better than that.
But it's nice if you fly with this fast gaggle to evaluate the decisions. So you fly with these guys and to evaluate. I struggle very much to follow, but it must be a skill set that you have to fly with a gaggle and not make your own decisions. It's extremely difficult for me. So I will sometimes just decide, stuff this, I'll just do my own thing, and then later I think, why was I not just a bit more patient? And I think you guys have a similar problem. You have exactly the same problem. Sometimes you just have to get used to the pace, hang on with the guys, and as you get into the rhythm, while you're flying, you see you're doing the same things. You start to get confident, and once you get into that confidence level, then you can either fly with that fast gaggle, or you can actually slightly beat them. But the fast gaggle, if there's in a gaggle Michael Sommer and this Philip Verleen, his teammate, you're not going to beat them. But if Michael Sommer is alone, you will beat him. Michael Sommer is not as good if he flies alone. Sebastian Cover always fly with his team buddy. Always, always, always. Look at the top team guys. They don't very often do their own thing. They fly most of the tasks together. Because you center quicker. Why do you do that? Because you can discuss this tactics, you can center quicker, and you just see more. You see much more. But you must be a small gaggle. So me and Abdi, we always try to team up with a third guy that we know is good. And then we know we have enough sensors in the sky. Now we can see, because if you have two guys, you can see there and there what's happening with the sky. So it's a little bit more, and we stay close together. Now, for team flying, which is critical, if you want to be a world champion, you have to be really good in team flying. If you don't team fly, you will probably be top 10, you'll be able to meet top 10 positions. But if you want to be on the top of the podium, you have to really be able to team fly. You really have to be able to do that. And you cannot team fly if you haven't practiced it. So if you guys don't practice and you think to the world, we're now going to team fly and step up the level, you're going to fly much slower than you would normally fly. So if you don't practice team flying and really understand the art of team flying and how to communicate, forget about it. So now once you have a teammate and you fly like that, once you've launched, the first thing you do, you meet up with the team pilot and you stick with him. So you absolutely stick with him. When you say it's not so critical, I differ from you. If you have a practice team, you will never in the sky, never ever in the sky, find two top team members split up before start. Never. Then launch up where you okay, they're together. And the one guy, normally how it works is, then one guy sits on the tail of the other guy and he is checking for mistake. He is observing with this guy's looking for thermals and lift. So he's doing the immediate strategic work, and the back guy is checking for airspace, for time when you have to start, where the other guys are. So he's relaxing a little bit more. And sometimes you can roll this position, you can stop the position. And then you discuss tactical times when you want to start and how to start, and you start together. If you start like this, forget about it. Don't even try to make team flying work. If you separate it, don't try to force it. You're going to be slower. Then use the other fast teams and fly with them. Join up as a team member with them. You don't have to talk, you just look at them. But if your team body can be extreme distraction, if you're not together or is behind or below or gone. So that's a trick. That's a trick. Then once it's fast in a gaggle, you forget about your team body. You give him a bit of information, but you absolutely just use the fast gaggle's information. If it's difficult and blue and low, you stick like, I don't know what is a good expression without using a swear word, but you stick with your guy, you stick with your team. It is so critical and important that you stick to them through difficult decision making or blue conditions. You have to stick, even if you waste a bit of time. But when you're strong, you cannot stick with them. You don't have to stick with them. You naturally will stay together, or the gaggle will split you up a little bit. You're sort of in the same air mass. So that's quite critical. And then there are ways to communicate when you're team flying. I think the British team is probably the best in terms of communication. They communicate with a very strict phraseology that they use for team flying, and they stick with that. And the British team is trained to do that. So I think if you want to look into communication and team flying, to really look at the British team structure. So we can help you guys with that because they taught us how to do it, and we use their phraseologies and what you say and what you don't want to say. So it's quite important. Then, as I said, commitment. You have to be committed in the team partner. But if you haven't practiced together, don't even go to the Worlds and think you're going to fly together. Don't go and exercise it there. If it's not your natural team buddy, just forget about team flying. Then
how do you practice team flying? Does that have to be?
He has a brother that's
The practice has to be done.
To design the airplane.
Contest? Can the practice be done just you flying?
in a contest where you stick together, other unconditionally. You say, we fly together, we stick together, we finish together, we land out together.
Do you allow team flying in your nationals?
If you guys want to be in world championship in the top positions, you have to embrace team flying.
in your local contest?
In your local contest. If you don't practice it in your national contest, you're going to be nowhere in a world championship.
Do you allow team flying in the
Of course.
national contest?
Of course.
British, do you allow?
Yes, we do.
You allow team flying?
And we team fly every.
Yeah, Ken.
And we fly a class every.
So I would just like to say, my observations, I flew in Nephi once. My observations is if you want to do tops in the world, you must either decide, is America the world or is the world the world? So that's the first decision you have to make. If you want to be a world champion, not an American champion, then you guys have to put pressure on your system to change things that the rules are the same as the world. So you have to fly the same rules as you're going to fly in the world, and you have to practice the same ways that the Europeans are practicing. And that is team flying. You have to be able to communicate with your buddy, you have to fly with him, you have to do these things together. You have to do that. And the biggest thing is, boys, you have to fly the same rules. You have to fly the same rules, the same scoring system, the same way which you have to use CU scoring, you have to use the same methods. Don't do anything. If you want to be there. But otherwise you must say rather, let's don't do world championships, we call, what's that newspaper, was it the world newspaper, and then said it's the world games, but it's actually just sponsored by your world newspaper. You're not the world, you're US. So you make the decision. I'm not yet with that, but put pressure on your system to make sure that you comply with the world rules. Please.
Do the
It's much
Brits
easier.
fly by the IGC rules?
Yeah.
Except for the starters.
There's
Well,
a few
some
minor
rules.
changes, but it's.
No, but hang on, what we are allowed to do, we fly, we make IGC contests ourselves and the British and the French and everybody, and you make a small bit of local rule changes in anticipation with what the IGC is going to change the rules towards. So if we practice different start times and things like this, we also introduce it. To give our pilots a chance to practice that. So we think, what will the rules be in the world? It's like altitude limitations, speed limitations, and we try to embrace that. We try to practice that within the IGC's freedom of rules.
Are you doing PVV events on stars?
Not, but we will have to practice it. We think it's going to happen now.
We practiced it in the past.
Yeah. So guys, I have the sympathy. When I flew at Utah and your nationals, I really had sympathy for you guys, because now you have to follow a different set of rules, different advantages in a world championship that you don't allow yourselves in your own contest. You have to seriously consider that if you want to be top level in the US. And the level of the pilots here is so close to the top level in the world, with a little bit of practice and modifications. Same to us. In South Africa, we also slightly not the exposure, and I think the problem is exposure. Nothing else. I don't think there's nothing wrong with skills and interpretation of weather, but exposure and experience flying in big aircraft in a big competition. And then obviously they fly in some weather that nobody understands why they're flying. So you have to understand that patience level as well. So.
A quick question actually for both of you. So do you send people to the world as teams? So if you have two pilots that fly together all the time, but they don't make the world team, then you need a new teammate? Or
we don't force it, but it naturally turns out to be like that, because the pilots flying as teams together in the world ends up very high on the ranking system, and they're selected normally together. But what we do, it's not written as official rule, but we're selecting members. I will not, even if I'm in the top position, I will not go and team fly now with Oscar. I will select the same class with Ati, so that the team stay together. So unofficially we select the classes to keep the team together. And so what I just like to summarize, if we just go back to this. So team flying, in my opinion, is critical to be a world champion. It is absolutely critical. Alright? I don't say it's impossible to become a world champion without team flying, but the level of the Europeans flying is high, and the additional information with additional advantage you have with team flying, supported by a team structure feeding relevant information to us. And I think this is where you guys must also be careful. You don't want to have too much information from the ground. The ground just needs to give you fair information, what is needed. If they overload you with information, it's also bad. We've also experienced that. Too much information, you make a decision based on that, and you come back and you say to your team, but they said this is some thunderstorm approaching. And all the others ignored, didn't have that information, and they did 10 kilometers faster, and they signed in your back because of the thunderstorm. So the information from the ground could be very bad. So you just take care that you don't process too much information. Okay, I interrupted myself. So team flying is critical, but if you haven't practiced it, it is better not to force team flying. Don't force team flying. You go together and help one another, setting up gliders, and you talk tactics together. But as soon as you cross the start line, you cannot be forced. If you, by the way, stay together, it's okay. But if you haven't practiced, don't force yourself to stay together. It doesn't work. Then use the training week, as I said, to determine the pace. What is the pace? And don't be surprised if the pace at the World Championships is 10 kilometers or 5 miles faster than the pace that you are used to. It's always the case. When we arrived back in the World Championship after a year or two, we fly the first day, we said the pace is unbelievable. What did we do wrong? Why are we so bad? And by the end of the practice week, we're on the pace, and then suddenly at the competition start, we see that we can maintain a pace higher than the gaggles pace. Okay, then the third thing is that good gaggles and bad gaggles. The big gaggles are big. Don't get intimidated by the big gaggle. It's a one-brainer. Remember that concept. It's a one-brainer gaggle. One guy making all that decisions. Only one guy, and all the others are just reaching on to you. That's a wonderful gaggle. The fast gaggles are potent. If you find a small, fast 4-man gaggle, 3-man gaggle, that's the one you would like to fly with. Best if you could be your own gaggle. That's that fast. If you're your team buddy and maybe somebody else that flies normally with you, or could make your own small team, that's the best. Then you don't have to use anything. That is, in my opinion, the best. And this is what the teams that's very successful normally has a world champion in it, and therefore they have 3 positions in a class and they have 3-man team. It's difficult to couple. It's difficult to beat Michael Sommer and his teammate flying together. It's difficult to beat Sebastian Kava and his 2 teammates. It's difficult. It is as it is. Am I right, Sean? It's difficult. Because that 3-man team is ultimate size team.
How many years did it take you kind of dedicating yourself to this style of flying? 2 years you were up to speed. Yeah.
We started flying slower, and after 2 years we started picking up.
And how many, what contests did you fly in those 2 years?
We only flew the local club competitions, but it was good, and the nationals and so on, all the national competitions. I would say about 3 or 4 competitions together, and we were there. But the one thing, if you want to create a team, is there must be absolutely commitment in the beginning. Absolutely commitment. So that means that you would open your air brakes to stay with your team buddy, because you know this is now a process to learn to fly together. So now you're going to sacrifice time initially. And then after a while, so at this stage, me and Ati is like such, if we are 100 meters apart, we don't care. We continue, and after a while we're together again. So we don't have to wait anymore. And sometimes it does happen that we are split up. It does happen in a contest that at 100 meters you get a bubble and this guy doesn't get it, and it's split. It is as it is. If the weather is good, we sometimes the bottom guy says, listen, I don't climb as well, and both leave. And the top one sacrifices maybe a better climb, provided the risk is not higher and we can catch up again. So that we find a thermal that is consistent and helps the bottom guy getting up. In many cases, the thermal from the bottom with the bubble coming up, so it could be in the bottom of the specific bubble and climbing faster to the top of the bubble and catch you up again. So it can happen normally that you can catch up. Sometimes it's the opposite way, where it sucks more to the top and then you cannot catch. So then it's the reverse side again. But our experience is that we nowadays have the ability to catch easier up. And in the World Championships, we don't wait if it's strong weather. We only wait if it's really outlanding situations where we're going to have strategically need one another. So practice that together, and then as you said about the start line tactics, is we were extremely successful in start strategy in the past, and also extremely bad. So we made some decisions where we outlanded, which cost us the World Championships, which you need to avoid at all costs. So that one you have to avoid, that you really make the start failure. But on the other hand, we were winning days by starting first. Me and Ati win failures, day wins on the World Championships by starting as the start line is opening up. You see the sky's ready and you go. And nobody thinks you are serious about it. And you complete the task and you win the day. We've also started half an hour after the last guys, and we also won the day. So it is difficult to say what is the right decision. This is the art of soaring, when to start. But when you're inside this time when you want to start and nobody started, and you start then they will catch up 5 minutes on you. So there's a period where it's very bad where you start. It's very bad. You start first, they'll catch you. And there's a period where you can break away, provided that the day is already picking up. So that's it. My normal experience is if we get impatient in the start zone, the gaggle always catches. Always. You fly away and you think you did a good thing, you find the first fly and the gaggle comes in and now they started 5 minutes after you. It's got such a negative effect on you that the whole flight is destroyed. Where if you could start 5 minutes after the gaggle, and after a while you see in the gaggle, then suddenly you see the gaggle is there, gone. Just because of that emotional victory that you have in the first half an hour. And this is what Jim says, the most important phase is that build up and when to start. And the second critical phase is that first half an hour in the flight. If you get momentum, and you can get that first thermal going and you get to a rhythm, it's there for the whole flight. If you struggle, your first climb you struggle, the flight is destroyed. To make a comeback after a bad start is not easy. So you have to avoid starting in the wrong time and having a start where there's not a rhythm. You have to find the first flight. And this is where it's sometimes not so nice for us to start just before the gaggle and then catch it off, because then everything is destroyed. So that's my experience and my advice. I'm not sure if it helped, but if I talk longer, then I'm here for tomorrow also. So quick questions, I can maybe give some more feedback.
That's great, thank you.
Yeah.
So let me just throw a little caveat in there. You know, the perspective that we're hearing from Ace, who's been second place in the world, fourth, fifth, you know, I don't know how much. Almost every time, top 10
Not the last time,
in the world.
screwing up a bit.
And his brother, Matty, same thing. Their good friend Oster. Oster's probably, from what I've seen, looking at results and track logs and studying track logs, to me, Oster is the master of the guy being able to run out front of everybody and staying in front of everybody. I don't know how he does it. It's amazing.
He just started flying when he was 12 years old, and he sees a little bit more in the sky, like Sebastian Kala sees a little bit more than the average guy. And the chances of using the information available, I think they see they're using a bit more information, and they're processing a little bit, statistically a little bit better. So we will hit thermals under the cloud like 6 out of 10 times, they will probably hit it 7 out of 10 times. But I don't think they hit it 10 out of 10 times. It's only a small percentage that they'll be. So don't think you have to be a world championship, you have to be 10 out of 10 times hitting the correct clouds. No, it's just your percentage must be slightly higher than the other guys. And it's a little bit. So because now you're missing a thermal 3 out of 10 times, you miss a thermal under a cloud, you think, not so good. It's not good. Like Oscar the other day said, listen, we all look at clouds. Nobody of us knows if there's lift under it. Nobody here. There's nobody that can say, I can guarantee you just lift. There's nobody that can do that. It doesn't exist. But you have more information to say that statistically the chance of lift there is better and you're making better guesses. That's all that it's about. Just making slightly better guesses. And this is what he's doing. He's just taking more information and just one thermal a day better than the rest of us, and then he's 5 kilometers an hour faster. 2.5 miles.
So you're hearing the perspective of, you know, one of the absolute best in the world. And the perspective you're hearing from me is more as, you know, one of you guys, and you know, we've got a long way to go. So if I'm overstressing this, you know, run with the gaggle, don't leave the gaggle thing, you know, maybe I'm overdoing that a little bit, you know, but you know, the message that I really hope that you all take is how important it is to do the gaggle thing and enjoy the gaggle and enjoy flying, you know, with all the best guys in the world. And you know, the bottom line, if you're having fun, you're going to do well, right? It's all about having fun and maintaining that right attitude that this is fun. And if you're in a thermal with 20 guys and you're going, this sucks, well, you're done. So keep the right, you know, fun attitude, and we can get in there as a team, as a absolutely can. The pilots that we've got that are going to the worlds, you know, have all the skills necessary. We just tend to want to do our own thing regardless. So